Hey guys, welcome into the Rauf Report. I am Brian Rauf with Chat Sports, your host here, as we go through and break down all the latest news rumors from around the college basketball world. Of course, it's championship week with all the conference tournaments taking place across the country, which means Selection Sunday is coming up. We're going to get into a little bit of bubble talk at the end of the show here, but first, we're going to go into some breaking news. Pitt has fired head coach Kevin Stallings. This news broke this morning, first reported by ESPN's Jeff Goodman and Jeff Borzillo. Not a huge surprise. Pitt really struggled. It was Kevin Stallings' second season with the program. They only went 8-24 this year, and they were winless in ACC play. Not only that, but their average margin of defeat in ACC games was 19.1 points. So they weren't even close to picking up a win at any point, really, this season. They were clearly the worst team in the ACC. They were the only team in the entire country to go winless in their conference this year. So this is a move that we all saw coming. Stallings had a $9.4 million buyout in his contract, but Pitt, very proud program, was not happy with the direction that this program was heading in, so they decided today, day and a half after the season ended, to part with head coach Kevin Stallings. Now, another once proud program that's fallen on some tough times recently is looking into making a coaching change as well, and that's Memphis. A report from CBS Sports' Gary Parrish reported that Memphis, who has Tubby Smith also in his second season, they're contemplating replacing him with favorite son Penny Hardaway. Hardaway was a Memphis alum, then Memphis State alum before going on to NBA success, and is now a coach of Team Penny, an AAU team on the Nike EYBL circuit, and the head coach at East High School in Memphis, and is linked to 3 top 40 prospects in the 2019 class that either he coaches or has coached in the past. So if Memphis were to make this move, one would think that they'd be able to reel in those recruits, or at least have a shot at reeling in those recruits. Now, obviously, this move is not just based on landing those 3 guys. Memphis wants to have a Memphis guy running their program, which Tubby Smith is not. Penny Hardaway clearly is, and with his success that he's had on both the AAU circuit and in high school, this is a move that Memphis is strongly considering making once their season ends. Now, Hardaway would bring on Larry Brown as an assistant coach, which would be one of the most interesting dynamics of this whole thing, in my opinion. Having a coaching legend like Larry Brown suddenly taking a step back and being Penny's assistant and letting somebody else run practice, I think, is going to be really interesting. And, of course, we all know the NCAA sanctions that tend to follow Larry Brown at times from schools he's been at in the past. So this will be something interesting to watch if this actually comes to fruition. Now, Tubby Smith has not been great at Memphis, only 38-25 in 2 seasons there. He does have a big buyout like Stallings. It's just under $10 million, but in order to get a Penny Hardaway into this role, they seem very willing to make that buyout. We'll bring in our first reaction poll here. Should Memphis fire Tubby Smith and hire Penny Hardaway? Let us know your thoughts. Give us a love reaction if you like it. Like the post if you don't think so. Interesting to see. It'll make Memphis relevant nationally, relevant on the national stage once again, something they haven't been since Sean Calipari left, and something that they really want to be. So I think it'd be a good hire, but what do you think? Let us know here in this reaction poll. Moving into some actual on-court players. Now we're going to start with Texas center Mo Bamba, projected top 5 pick in the NBA draft. He has missed the last 3 games for Texas with a toe injury, but he says he will be back for the NCAA tournament. Texas is still in the Big 12 tournament, beat Iowa State last night to essentially punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. They were already in but needed to avoid that bad loss, which they did. Doesn't seem like he'll play in the Big 12 tournament no matter how long this run may go for Texas, but he says that he'll be out there for the NCAA tournament no matter if my entire leg was missing. Pretty good, strong statement from him to let Texas fans know that he will be on the court next week when Texas is in the NCAA tournament. He's a big player for them, averages 13 points a game, just over 10.5 rebounds per game, but the big presence for him is on the defensive end, averaging just under 4 blocks per game. That's what NBA scouts love about him. That's what he really brings to this Texas team, that defensive presence, that rim protector, shot-blocking presence that they haven't had in his absence. Another lottery pick is going to be back on the court that we weren't sure if we were going to see again this year. It's Michael Porter Jr. from Missouri. He is returning for the SEC tournament. They'll play this afternoon, and he will be on the court for them. It remains to be seen how much he'll play, but for a guy who was the number 2 overall recruit in the class and only played 2 minutes this season in the season before being taken out with an injury that later required a back surgery. This is big news both for him and for Missouri. Missouri is clearly in the NCAA tournament. They're about an 8-9 seed right now. Porter obviously changes the dynamic of their team, bringing a top-tier talent to that group. But they also have to worry about some problems with incorporating him into a team that already has well-defined roles and have sort of found their rhythm without him. How is that going to mesh? Are they going to mesh easily? Is Porter going to kind of mess with the rhythm? That'll be interesting to see. He was cleared to practice last month, so he has been practicing with the team some. So I think that transition will go smoother than maybe some anticipate. But it's going to be a lot of fun for fans, especially, and NBA scouts as well, to see Porter on the court and see what one of the top freshmen in the country can do. Another reaction poll here. Can Missouri make the Sweet 16? Are they a Sweet 16 team with Michael Porter Jr. now back in the fold? Like I said, they're projected to be in the 8-9 range, which means they'd have to beat a number 1 seed, or if they go in the 7-10, beat a number 2 seed to advance to the Sweet 16 in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. Do you think the addition of Porter Jr. makes them a real threat to pull off that kind of upset? Let us know again. Hit us with the love reaction if you agree. Hit us with the like if you disagree. Give us your thoughts as well in the comments. Another big man in the Big 12, Kansas's Udoka Azubuike, is not going to play in the Big 12 tournament. Kansas starts their run today. He will not play in the Big 12 tournament because of a sprained MCL he suffered in practice on Tuesday. Before Kansas fans start freaking out, he is expected to return for the NCAA tournament next week. But for a team that lacks depth, especially in the front court, this is a major problem for them. He was their big, heavy minutes getter on the inside. Now they're going to have to rely on Mitch Lightfoot and Silvio De Souza to really handle all of their minutes for the big man positions down low. We're going to see Kansas, who has played small all year, play even smaller in the Big 12 tournament and potentially into the first round or two of the NCAA tournament if this injury still limits Azubuike. But he says he'll be back, but he will not play this week and weekend in the Big 12 tournament. Again, averaging just under 14 points, over 7 rebounds, and somewhat of a defensive presence, averaging just under 2 blocks per game. Crazy story. We're going to wrap this up, the news and rumors section, with a crazy story out of the Pac-12 yesterday coming from Colorado head coach Tad Boyle. Colorado beat Arizona State in the first round of the Pac-12 tournament, 97-85, a pretty sound, resounding win, but was kind of marred at the end of the game. Colorado threw an alley-oop with just a couple seconds left that was unnecessary, and Arizona State's Trey Holder really thought it wasn't necessary, kind of went and shoved the Colorado player who dunked the ball to the ground. That created a bit of a scuffle after the game. Colorado head coach Tad Boyle comes running onto the court to try and break it up and calm things down before things really start to escalate. As he comes on the court, tears his calf muscle. He's going to coach for the rest of the week, and it's not going to keep him out of any time, but he has a torn calf muscle. He says he won't know the extent of it until they get back to Boulder after the Pac-12 tournament's over. But he said it felt like somebody hit him with a golf ball or a shotgun as he ran out on the court, which, as you can imagine, not a great feeling. So Tad Boyle is going to be coaching through some pain here throughout the rest of the Pac-12 tournament and into potentially the NCAA tournament.